everyone, Laura from Gold Star Work here. Today is day 6 of building our daily art habit. Now yesterday I suggested that you figure out what you wanted to paint today so you'd have no excuse not to get up and do it, because then you'd know what you were doing. And I decided that this painting that I did yesterday, that I wanted to try this again. And this is something that I often do, is I'll redo a painting if I'm not completely happy with it and try and change it to what I wanted. To me this was too saturated in colour, it didn't give the mood that I was thinking I wanted. So I'm going to do this painting again. And I'm going to use a reference book. So today my challenge to you is to go through your library of art books, which I'm sure if you're interested in art and learning how to paint, you have a library of art books at home that you probably hardly ever look at, or you just look at and never do anything with. So go through your library of art books, find someone who you admire and you would like to learn from, and do an exercise out of that book, or apply the exercises in that book to one of your paintings. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'm using Sea and Sky and Acrylics, Techniques and Inspiration by Dave White. And I'm going to be using his techniques on doing a sunset. Now his is over the ocean. So this is the page that he's been doing, and he goes step by step through his techniques. And I'm going to apply those techniques to my painting of the photo that I took of the sunrise yesterday, and see if I can get the mood that I was after more. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I challenge you to go into your library, find a book of someone that you admire and would like to try, and have a go with that. So this solves 2 of my goals, is to read my books more and learn something. So try new technique, learn something new. So that's what I'm doing today. So that's enough talking, let's get started. So I wasn't entirely happy with the way my picture turned out yesterday, and this is how I work to learn. If I do something that I don't like and I'm not happy with, then I'll paint it again. And if I feel like I need some extra help, then I will look up some tutorials, look at my books and find some help where I need it. He's just used a yellow cadmium colour with white. I've used 2 different ones. I've used the one that's the more lemon yellow colour with some white, and I've also used the medium cadmium yellow. So I'm doing that first all over the canvas. I've had a bit of a late start this morning. It's actually lunchtime now. I was hoping to be finished by now. Had calls from the hospital and things to sort out. So feeling just a little bit off balance after all that this morning. I need to just settle down and calmly get on with my work again. So, covering all this canvas up. So if I'm having trouble with a picture and I'm not happy with the way it turns out, I don't usually just give up on it and stop. I will look at it and think about it and then decide if I need extra help solving those problems. So I will look up some painting lessons, whether it's a book or whether it's a video or whether it's asking advice at my painting group. And sometimes it's just a matter of fixing it. But this time I decided I wanted to just start again. And there's a certain beauty of doing something over again because you're already familiar with what you're painting. And that helps. You can really just concentrate on your skills rather than worrying about getting the shape of the hill right or anything like that. So that's why I like to paint the same thing over and over until I'm happy. And I've actually done a blog on being an active self-learner and how I do it, and I'll link that below in case you're interested. And one of the things I do find when you do yellow sunrises or sunsets that you do have to be careful what you use underneath, because this is where the ground's going to be, so it doesn't matter that that's showing through. But if it was just where some pure yellow was going to be, it would be a problem because the black pencil would show through. So the next thing in the instructions in the book are to mix some of your red. I'm using Naphthol Red Light with some ultramarine blue to make this brown colour, which is basically a burnt sienna type colour. And as I move down the painting, I've added a little bit more red into it. Now I've just got some of the red on its own on my brush. Now mix some of the yellow, the cadmium yellow medium, into that mix, and I'm evening out the transition there. And I added some white and a little more of the yellow to that mixture. And already you can see it's a lot softer colours than what I had before, and that's more the colours that I was kind of going for. So I'm a lot happier with how that's looking at the moment. I've added a tiny bit of ultramarine blue to this mix that was here, just for that funny coloured bit of sky that was showing there. Now I'm using my cadmium yellow light, which is more of a lemon yellow with some white in it, and just filling in that little bit there that's going to be a lighter glow. Now I'm going to do another coat on here and just adjust my values a little bit. So I'm going a little bit darker on the top. And I'm using the same mix of my Naphthol Red Light and Ultramarine Blue. And I've just put a little bit more Ultramarine Blue in it to make it darker. And I'll lighten it up as I go down again. Where Dave White's method for doing his little clouds differs from mine, what I would normally do. So I'm going to see how I go doing his method. So he's just got some white with a little bit of the yellow mixed in, and we're doing the little cloudy bits. And so he's saying to use your finger, spread it out, and a little bit of water on your finger if you need to. May not work so well because my painting is so tiny. So the bits where the sun will be highlighting the clouds is what we're trying to do here. Just put a little bit more water on my brush. And dipping my finger into the water so I can spread those clouds out a bit. I'm trying to kind of keep that upward flow that the picture has. And I'm having a look at what I've already done. And picking up where the natural transition is. So I'm not following my photo exactly, because sometimes the paint will go in a certain way that, you know, this bit here would look good with a little highlight on it or something. So look at your picture that you're painting as well as your reference. Some more of my red and my blue. And now I'm going to do more of the cloud details for the dark bits. And I put quite a bit of water in this mix. And as I come down, I'm lightening that mixture up a little bit. I just put some water on my brush then, just because it was getting a bit too thick, that paint, I decided. Needed less colour in it. So today, while I was riding my bike, I listened to, not a TED Talk this time, it was by Absolute Motivation on YouTube. And it was called, You Will Never Look at Life the Same and Why You Don't Achieve Your Goals. Now I'm going to put the guy's name who's doing the talking on the screen because it's not something that I think I will pronounce successfully. So, what was he talking about? Basically, he was talking about how to make meaningful goals and ignoring the rules of your culture that tell you what you should be doing and thinking about what you actually want to do. So what drives me and what makes me passionate, not what I think I should be doing. And staying true to our own identity is what he was talking about in terms of setting goals. I'm going to put in the dark landmass, and I'm using the same mixture as I've used up here. So he was talking about, on Absolute Motivation, setting your goals and how most people set the wrong kind of goals. So instead of setting goals like, well, I want to get good grades and I want to get into a good college so that I can become a lawyer and go to law school and make partner. And so instead of making those kind of goals, you should be asking yourself, what experiences do I want to have in life? So what that means is, who do I want to wake up with in the morning? What countries do I want to visit? What type of house do I want to live in? What adventures do I want to have? What family life do I want? And all those kind of experiences rather than I have to get good grades so I can do this. So what he's saying is a lot of people make goals so they can do this. I want to become a lawyer so I can do this. And that leads you to your end goal. So instead of saying that, what experience do you want out of life? What experiences do I want as an artist? And then the second part to that is for me to become that person who has all these experiences. How do I have to grow? How can I learn to be better so that I can actually achieve those experiences? So I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at it. And one of the things that also resonated with me there was, you say a lot of people don't realise that growth is a goal in itself. I love to learn. I love to learn new skills. And that can be an experience in itself. That can be the end goal, is learning, becoming a better person through knowledge. My brush is going all over the place here. So once you figure out what kind of experiences you want to have in your life, then you can figure out how you can grow so that you can have those experiences. Like I said yesterday, that I was thinking when I retire, it'd be nice to take the camper van out and spend some time travelling and painting as I'm travelling around and things. But if that's the experience that I want, then what do I need to learn? Well, I need to make sure I can drive the camper van for a start. So that's what I did yesterday. I made sure that I could drive the camper van. I'm just going to use my little paper towel. Make a bit of texture. So now we're adding a little bit of the straight red to highlight bits of the clouds. Yeah, so yesterday I was talking about the camper van. And so I've made sure that I know how to drive the camper van. A lot of trouble that I have with a lot of people who talk about setting goals and things is they are very, a lot of them are very based on what materialistic kind of things. And you have to work really hard to achieve those goals. You have to put everything into it, and if you're not falling down exhausted every night, you're not doing a good enough job in that, and it just doesn't resonate well with me. I'm willing to work hard for what I want, but I also want to enjoy the process, which comes down to growth as a goal in itself. I want to enjoy the process of actually doing what I'm doing. I think that's really important, that I'm not waiting to be happy. I want to be happy now. I want to do what I'm passionate about now, because you don't know in the future. if you're going to be able to do those things anymore. So you've only got today, not to live right now. So that's kind of the theory that I'm working on. And so with my art, I know it's important to me for my well-being. I know that it makes me feel better. And I want to be doing it now. I don't want to wait till I'm retired from my job and got enough money to be able to achieve anything with my art. I think if I can do it now, then I will do it now. So I've got some of the dark colour on here. I'm just it's very thin, so I'm just glazing a little bit around the edges. The red and the yellow, and I'm just glazing some of the darker areas into the lighter areas. And this is what Dave White's saying to do, so that's what I'm doing. Smoothing those transitions out a bit. Just put a little bit more ultramarine on my brush. It's a very tiny amount. So adding a little bit of lighter colour with the yellow and the white, and this has got some glazing medium in it because I thought it would flow better. I'm using some of that plain cadmium yellow light and just glazing over some of those white clouds there. And I'm just going to glaze over some of those clouds with the cadmium yellow medium, which is a slightly brighter yellow. I'm just adding any in where I feel I want to brighten up that yellow colour. I'm just using some of that lemony yellow colour with lots of water in it just to brighten up. Oops, my finger was dirty, that was a bad move. So another reason not to use your finger if you're a messy painter. Get rid of that dirty mark. Dry that off again. Try that again. Do some of that brighter glazing with the yellow. Just to make the area pop. As you can see, you can get a beautiful bright glow without using all bright colours. And that was my problem with my last picture. I had too many saturated colours and it wasn't giving me the effect that I was after. It was just all too much colour. And that's saying a bit, but when you consider how much I love colour. So I think that's about done, and I'm much happier with the results this time. So I'll show you them. So here they are side by side. This is the one I did yesterday. You can see the really bright colours and things that I've used. And here's the one that I've done today. And I've used Dave White's book, Sea and Sky and Acrylics, Techniques and Inspiration, to help me with my colours because I was feeling a bit lost yesterday. And I think it's turned out much better. That's much more what I was going for. So I'm really happy with the results of that. So I hope you enjoyed watching me do take 2 of my sunrise at home. And yay, we've done day 6 of building a daily art habit. So I hope you got your paints out and did some painting too. Don't have to paint the same as me, or if you want to have it go with a sunset or a sunrise, then you're quite welcome to follow some of my methods and follow what I've been doing. So happy painting everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.